Right, this is a picture I taken 3 years ago, almost to the day actually. Quite a nice picture. One shot didn't make the grade, but I've done this to show you basically how basic Lightroom is to set up really. We go over to white balance. I always use auto, and then generally just play about until you get either cool or warm. It depends how, on your taste. So I like things fairly cool, so that looks quite nice. Don't think we need to bother with a tint. If you look at the histogram, the exposure's a little bit under. Don't really want to go up much more because I'm starting to blow it on this side, but we'll clear that in a minute. Blacks, I always take down to +5. Never use clarity, or very, very rare anyway. Point curve. Almost everything I do, it's medium contrast. You find it gives a much better look to the picture, but again, it comes down to your own choice. Sharpening, for now I'm putting back to 0, and you'll see why later on. Noise reduction, I don't need it, not on this image. Lens correction, always tick those 3, use auto. On this one, it's not really relevant because the 85mm was just a stunning lens. Don't need a highlight priority. And camera calibration, well, I've got my own settings for this, but again, it's relative to what you prefer for yourself really. But this is my to start with settings that I found works well with the cameras I'm on at the moment. Right, now then, it looks a little bit warm, so I'm going to knock it back just a fraction more. I'm blown on this side of the picture, so I'm going to go to the graduate filter and exposure. So make sure you get exposure on the little drop down box. I'm going to drag it on the diagonal from that corner. Don't worry about coming down too far, you'll see why in a minute. It doesn't really affect the major part of the picture. But now you see I'm going to bring this back so it's not blown. Little bits of the highlight as well. That looks pretty good. Hit return, well on a Mac anyway, and then do this exactly the same from this corner. And we'll call that it. And that's sort of balancing. I suppose I could take the bottom out a little tiny bit, or I could use a brush. I think I'll use the brush. So the exposure brush, I never go above 30, 34, around about that. Simply because I like more control of the image. So hit return a couple of times and do it partially rather than all in one go. Let's even things up a little bit. Now then, the eyes, really, really in shadow. So again, go back to your brush, go down to your drop down. I cheat. I've got a couple of bits that I bought in, and there's one I've made up called Light and Shadows. So when you look at this is one I made myself. Exposure 43, shadows 36. I've gone to 43, and it's simply because I know exactly how much I'm going to lift things up. And like I said, it's a preset I made myself. You can change presets to whatever you like really, but I just, oh, that's no good. I'm going to raise that a little bit around there. It's affected her makeup. So we'll take that to there. There you go, you can see the difference in the eyes. Phenomenal. Right, sharpening. This is where most people will fall down. They either sharpen too much or they don't sharpen enough. On the Mac, it's Alt. I don't know what it is on with PCs now, because I haven't used a PC for years. Press Alt, go to black and white. When you do your sharpening, you can see exactly where it's been touched. Same with radius. Again, still holding the Alt down, See the difference? That shows exactly how much it's been done, far too much. I'm normally around 0.8, 0.9. I don't want to overdo things. Detail. This makes a big difference. I only want to do the major outlines. I don't want to sharpen the wall behind, so that's sharpening everything. That's now masked out the wall, a lot of her skin, but I'm still getting all the hair all around here done nice. And the actual sharpen itself. If you go too much, you get artifacts. You can see in the 100% here. Don't want that. So generally around about 40 to 50 on the sharpening. That still gives me, well, I'll say nice skin tones, but on this model she's quite open pores really. Can't do much about that unless I go into portraiture, which is a different thing altogether. It's not what I'm showing today. Yeah, that basically shows you then how to edit a basic picture. I could bring the shadows up slightly. Which improves things. And then the hair. The hair is, to my liking, too bright. So exposure. Knock it down to about 20. And don't go to the edges, just do the main parts. That's about it. Done. Then when you want to export, it's Lightroom, File, Export. You come up with this sequence. Specific folder, so you just go to choose, and then wherever you want to put it. For me, it's not there. It's into that. Where's my model stuff? I'm blind now. Into their models, put it in a subfolder. Always use subfolders because you never want to get millions of pictures all mixed up. So put it in a folder, make a subfolder straight away. Just easier to find things. I use custom named sequence, so it's custom named, obviously white photography, whatever number you want to start it on. Quality, it's only Facebook, so knock it back to 80. If you're saving for print, obviously 100%. sRGB, resize fit a long edge. If it's Facebook, then you want to go around about 2060 pixels. That will give you a really smart looking image on Facebook. Resolution 72. Watermark, I've got millions on here, but the one I want is to go in the top right. Export, done. And that is it. How a basic tutorial of how to basically edit an image.